Good morning, team. So, session will start in 2 minutes. Hi, Amit, Kevin, Mahendra, Chandrasekhar, Nirosh. So, wait for a few minutes. So, meanwhile, if anyone have a questions or something, maybe we can have a casual discussion apart from technical. We have any career related. Anyone have any questions? Maybe we can discuss, guys.
Yeah, hi, Shiv. Good morning. I'm Chandra here. Am I audible?
Not able to hear it, so voice is very low. Could you please check your mic?
Okay. Sure.
Yeah, you can ask me like.
Okay. I have been working as a product support specialist. It's
Okay.
been 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
Mainly, I have been working on related to application and SQL database related queries and
Okay.
network related and
Mm-hmm.
alerts kind of things. So I just want to switch from this domain to
Cloud engineering, Snowflake data, yes.
but yeah.
So currently in the cloud market, right, the package wise also we are getting one of the highest package in compared to even other data fields, even compared to data science also. Reason very less people available in the market for data engineers. Data scientists are there, data analysts are there. Compared to them, right, a demand and supply issue is there with data engineers.
Okay. Yeah. So my question is like, is that a good switch to application support to
When I
this?
said like there are a lot many opportunities, is a good switch or a bad switch?
Yeah, it's a good switch, but
Yeah. So compared to the other market, right, even in the data field as well, currently data field is good, but even up to the three like data analytics, data science, and data engineer, compared to data science and analytics, also data engineers are good in demand
okay.
because less people are available, data engineers. So I can make a simple challenge. We will prepare a resume today.
Yeah.
Check it next 4 sessions. You will get calls by this weekend itself.
Yeah. So yeah, that is what like almost 3 years I have experience in product support, right? So if
Yes.
I join using the data engineering experience, or shall I prepare a resume on whatever I have had a previous experience? So in terms of interviews and how can I prepare?
Yes. Yes. You can able to. It's not a big deal. You can able to crack easily.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. Any questions?
Mahesh, actually for practicing, we need a organization account. You guys will provide our.
Organization account we need for Snowflake?
Okay.
No, not required, sir. Snowflake. Only for Power BI, Power Apps, it's required. Snowflake, we don't need an organization account.
Not for Snowflake,
No,
Matillion.
not required. Not required.
You no need to worry about that, sir. We'll provide you that if anything is required. But there is some use. We can have some alternative. We'll be explaining that how to do that. But if really required, based on the KSR Datavision, Mahesh will be generating for you, and it will be giving that.
That is for cloud. Snowflake also required for them.
Not required, Mahesh.
Yeah, that's what Snowflake is not required. Okay. Yeah, you guys can carry on then. You can start recording as well. So, Sagar.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, guys. Just give me 1 minute. I'll just set up few things. Okay. Anyone attending for first today as a first class?
Yeah, I'm attending today.
Okay. Did you go through yesterday's recording by any chance?
Yes, just a half. I need to complete the remaining half. Yes,
Okay, no worries, no worries.
thank you.
Okay, anyone?
Yeah,
Yes.
me too.
Good. Yeah.
Okay, no worries. We'll have a quick recap at the end. Don't worry, whatever we discussed yesterday regarding the course, everything, I'll be sharing you information at the end of the class today. Okay, fine. Let me share my screen. Okay, are you able to see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Fine. Yesterday we did have a brief introduction about our course. So we went through what all we'll be learning in next 4 to 5 months, what all the tools and tech stacks that is required as a multi-cloud or modern data engineer tech stack that is high in demand. We understood what is data engineer. We understood what is cloud, why cloud is required. That is a brief understanding we had last class. In coming class, we'll be deep diving more, but today we'll be getting started with our first tool, that is SQL. I know there might be few folks who already know SQL, who have worked on the SQL. So I request for to bear with me for next 1 or 2 classes. We will be doing fundamentals of SQL. We'll get started with SQL, but when we get started with something intermediate or advanced coding problems, there will be having a lot of interview questions or assignments where you'll be get started with preparing of your interview. So that I can assure, but those whom there might be few folks who are new to SQL or new to data field. So for considering them, we need to explain few things. So bear with me for next 2 or 3 classes. Okay. That being said, we'll get started today with the first topic of our data engineer, that is SQL. Okay. Before getting started, if you guys are new and if you are not joined our WhatsApp group, please scan this and join, where we'll be sharing our next. This is our second demo class. We have 3 more class apart from this current class as a demo class to join and to discuss about your doubts or clarification, anything if you want to know. So join this our particular WhatsApp group where you can directly join our classes using WhatsApp. Okay. That being said, let's get started. Okay. What is the agenda for today is we'll just understand what is SQL, a little bit history of SQL, why SQL is important, what are the databases, what are the popular databases. And for our course, we'll be using something called as MySQL DB. Why we are using MySQL DB? We'll see installation. And if time permits, we'll see OLTP and OLTP. And we'll be creating few database objects inside our SQL so that we can get started with SQL. Now, before getting started, I have few questions for you guys. Do you know what is Facebook? Anyone here uses Facebook?
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
Do you guys still use Facebook?
yes.
That's great. It's been like 5-6 years I opened this particular app because nowadays everyone has moved to Instagram, right? Is Instagram a parent company of Facebook?
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Do you guys know when Facebook was invented? Which year?
2012.
2012. Okay.
2008.
8. Okay. Fine. Let's see. Facebook was invented in 2004. Okay. YouTube? Anyone? Anyone uses YouTube here?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Anyone?
2005.
2005. Oh, that's great. Twitter? 2006. WhatsApp? I guess everyone is using WhatsApp, right?
Yeah.
2009. PhonePe? 2018. Now, when I asked you this, guys, how many of people knew when this particular application was developed or who developed these particular applications? Anyone know about these things?
No.
No, I don't
Okay.
have that.
was developed on Mars before that.
Okay. Okay. When did India won the first World Cup?
1983.
Okay. When did India won the first T20 World Cup?
2007.
7.
Okay. The second World Cup?
I think 2013.
30?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
2011.
Okay. When did RCB won its first IPL trophy?
2008.
RCB?
RCB this year only, 2025.
Okay, are you guys happy that RCB won the cup this year?
Yes.
Now, when I asked you about something called as cricket, where a lot of people follows cricket and they know these particular facts and information, so that is been registered inside your brain. So when I'm asking few things, you are able to recall those things since that is stored inside your brain and you are able to answer that. But whereas I asked when Facebook was invented, you are not able to identify. When YouTube was invented, you did not know that. Twitter, WhatsApp, or any other applications or any other information that is not we are following up to day, that is not important for us, we are not able to remember this. But if you go and see, there is since this is the age of data, whenever you click anything, whenever you browse anything, whenever you purchase anything, whatever you do, everything is data that is being generated. And by 2025, that is in the current year, we are expecting about 175 zettabytes of data. Anyone know what is zettabyte? Okay, let's see. Even I don't know what is zettabyte. Let me go and use ChatGPT. Okay, how much is 175 zettabyte of data equivalent to, terabytes? Okay, I'm asking that. Okay, it says 1 kilobytes is 124 KBs and 1 terabyte is 1204 GBs. 1 petabyte is this, and zettabytes is 1204 exabyte. That means 1.7 billion TB of data is generated across the world. Can we process this much of data? Can any person in the world can process this much of data and store in their brain? And if I ask any question, can you process and answer those information? Is it possible?
No.
No.
Okay. Come back. Okay. Since we are not able to process that, just think for a second. This is a data that is generated, but there might be a data which is updated. There might be data which is deleted. Which is search. We are searching all the information in Google. A lot of things we are doing. Now, how we can handle this particular data? We'll come back to that. Please hold on to that. Coming to that, we'll take one example of Amazon and we'll try. Now, since we can't go and process 175 zettabytes of data and I can't show you that example. I'll take a very small example and let me take an example use case of Amazon and we'll try to analyze how data is generated and how data is managed by Amazon using their order processing. Now, what is this? What is this particular image? What do you think?
Warehouse.
Warehouse. We can consider this as a warehouse where Amazon store all these products before doing shipping or delivering to each and every consumers. They are going to store like this. Okay. When you compare any Amazon use case Now, if you want to order anything inside Amazon, what are the steps you take? What are the steps you follow? I want to order a iPhone. There is a big billion day that is coming. I want to order my iPhone 16. That sale has come. What's the current price of iPhone 16? Anyone know? Okay, let's consider it as 70,000. I want to order that particular product. What are the steps we are going to follow? First, we'll go and browse our product. What are the item we require? That we are browsing that particular product. Once we browse that particular, we add that to our cart. Once we add to our cart, we'll go and verify the details and we add our address. And once that particular address is added, we are going and adding our payment details, and then you are getting the shipment of that particular product. Okay. Then you will show something like this. Okay, the Amazon will be showing you, okay, your order is in transit. It is dispatched from this particular warehouse. It is come here. It has in transition. You are expected to get delivery at this particular date. You guys follow this? Whenever you order anything online, we will be following this thing. Okay. Now imagine Amazon is doing millions of sales a particular day, and can they go and track all this information in a piece of Excel?
No.
Okay. Now what happens if your data is like, consider if they are not managing this particular data, and for example, your order get lost, and you have ordered something called as iPhone, but you are receiving any other phone, so let's say Samsung, or else your order has not at all delivered, and you are not getting any information about what my current order is happening. Will you go and order anything from Amazon if these issues arises?
No.
Okay. In 2008, or let's say early 2000s, or let's say 2012 or anything, when a smartphone was invented, where we get started Android phones and all, era of smartphone started. Did you ever order your products from Amazon, saying blindly going and saying, okay, I want my, let's say at that time iPhone something 10 was come, and at that time only iPhone price was around 95K or something. They have dared to go and order this particular product in 2012 and all from Amazon.
No.
Okay. But now why? Now if you go and see, recent phone, a Samsung has launched something called as Note 7. And the price of this particular phone is 1,75,000. Do anyone have this phone with them? Anyone have this particular phone? No?
No.
Well, it's a good phone, right? You get a tablet. It's a folding phone. Good phone, right?
It's a good phone.
I'm not able to hear you.
But we can't spend that much amount for me.
If you had spent this much amount, why would I have joined the course? Why would I have been in the data engineering class? Right? Okay. Now people are going and ordering and even blindly paying 1,75,000 and then blindly trust on Amazon to get those information, because they are giving all your history, whatever the information is doing, whatever happening with respect to your phone. Each and every hour or every day, you might get an email notification saying, okay, this particular phone is being transit here. You might get arrived at this particular time. Each and every information you are getting, but how this particular information is being sent to you. Now, whenever you go and order anything, you are a data user, your order, the application is built, and whatever you are doing, there is something called as a database in the backend, and it is doing all your whatever if you go and create an account, it will go and add in the database. If you go and add information, it will go and add here. If you add address, it will go search any products. It will search from your database and bring that to your UI and shows, okay, this is the phone you are searching, this is the offers you are having. This all information is present inside your database, and those information is being displayed to you. Now, whenever you do all these particular things, each and every things have been sent to database. Now, if you are doing and going and canceling your order, that particular information is been updated inside your database, and it will get updated, and all the piece of information is maintained here. And using this particular database only, inside your phone application or any your UI or website, under your profile, Amazon will be able to display all that information. So what is this database? Now, database, you can consider it as collection of any data or any of the information that can be electronically stored, easily accessible, managed, and updated. You can manage that data by deleting or inserting the data. You can access that particular data. You can search that particular data, and all those information you are going and keeping in one centralized repository or collection. You can say that is nothing but a database. Now, under database, you have all this particular data. Now, if I come and talk to you with Japanese, can you able to understand? Do anyone know Japanese? Anyone know Indonesian language or Mandarin?
No.
Okay. Anyone know Hindi? Telugu?
I know Hindi.
भाई
Okay.
बोलो ना
Kannada?
क्या काम है?
Sorry? Sorry? Okay.
I know Hindi.
Okay, that's good. Okay.
We
Some
know
people
Kannada
might not
also.
know Hindi. Some people might not know Telugu. Some people not know Kannada, Tamil. Out of around few folks that have attended today, do you know, guys, English?
Yes.
Anyone who don't know
Yeah.
English here? No. So in the same way, how we can communicate with each other, one single medium, that is English, at least a few, I can say, compared to that of the regional language, English is one universal language that widely used across the country and or across the continent, where people know, understand English. The same way, if I need to communicate with my database, I need one language, and that language is nothing but SQL. Now, SQL is nothing but a language that communicates with your database, where using SQL only what? You can retrieve your data, you can update your data, you can manage your data, and whatever things, if you want to talk to your database, then the only language that is possible is, as of today, is SQL. Now, to talk to something called as database, you're saying SQL is a medium, but the way we are communicating is through something called as queries. Now we write a particular query inside SQL. There is particular set of syntaxes. Now how we have grammar inside our English, when I'm talking particular proper English, I need to follow this particular grammar, then only will be understanding. Now if I go and talk something in the past, whatever the past is there, I'm talking about future, that is something grammar. If I'm doing this, you might not able to understand what I'm talking, or the way I communicate is wrong, and you'll come and say whatever you're talking is rubbish English. I can't understand that. This is not, this is correct. In the same way, queries are something, it follows certain rules and regulation, that is grammar, whatever saying in English. The same thing inside queries, we have something called as syntax. Using that particular syntax, we will use inside our queries. Using those set of commands only, we are able to communicate with respect to database. Now, your Amazon uses this particular database, where whenever you go and search any particular iPhone 15 inside Amazon, Now it goes and uses SQL to fetch that information from your database, and then it will show that particular information to you through UI. If you want to check your past history, it is maintaining all that information inside your database, so you'll be able to get that. Now, if they want to update any stocks, if they want to update any offers, they'll go just update inside your database, and that will be displayed through your application or UI. So why do we need database? We need database because the data is increasing, and we cannot store that in a piece of paper or any Excel sheet or any local. We make use of something called as database, where we can store a large amount of data and we can connect to that particular database with any of the application, where we can quickly add our data, or we can add our new data, or we can quickly easily access our information, and we can make all the changes on the regular basis, and we can share this huge amount of data across the people as well. So that's the reason a main important object is inside your SQL is database. Any doubts so far? Are you good? Are you good till now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, clear. Okay. Now, why this database? You're saying, okay, Sagar, we are using database. What's the functionality that you're saying? You are doing all these things. What's so special about that? Now, these are some of the properties of database. When you go and see, there is something called as scalability. Now, what is this scalability is? You have a laptop where anyone here is a gamer? Anyone plays PUBG? No? Anyone have PS5? What is PS5? Anyone know about PS5?
PlayStation.
Okay.
I was played PlayStation 2, 3, and I haven't played recently.
Okay, that's good. Now, whenever you are buying any PlayStation, there is a certain configurations, or any laptop you take, we have something called as a RAM and storage. It says, okay, I can process up to 8 GB of data in the memory while processing your data, or you're running any application. To run that smoothly, I use something called as a memory, and I'm processing that data, and I want to store some information in disk. I'll go and put that particular disk. Now your database is scalable. Scalable is nothing but you can increase this particular memory, you can increase your particular storage as per your requirement. And for example, you are having particular inside this particular laptop, you are having 8 GB RAM and 512 GB has your disk. Now you can go and increase if the configuration is there, you can go and add additional memory card, and you can increase it to something called as 16 GB of RAM, and you can add additional hard disk, and you can make it as 1 TB. Now you have that functionality inside your laptop, but this is a max limit of certain laptops. But in database, you can go and store all, you can create something called a server, where this particular servers are only maintaining your information, your data, your all, whatever you do with respect to database, you can go and maintain that. And you have a flexibility to increase this configuration, you have flexibility to change this particular configuration based on your requirement. Now, I'm changing I have one particular laptop and I'm increasing my configuration in that particular laptop. Then what I'm doing, I'm vertically scaling my laptop. You can do that particular with respect to database. No, now I want something called as, I'm doing something called as video editing, or I'm doing a very, very important work that requires a multiple laptop. Then I'll use same 1 TB, 16 GB of one laptop. Then I'll use this, and I'm horizontally increasing my number of laptops in the same way. You can increase your number of servers when the max limit of one server is there. In that way, you are increasing your horizontally. So you can do that with respect to something called as database. Okay. got scalability is good. What do you mean by elasticity? Now, you have something called as Amazon Big Billion Day. Do you guys order on Amazon Big Billion Day? Anyone wait for this particular moment to order anything from Amazon?
Yes.
Why?
Yes.
Why you wait for this moment?
We get good discounts.
Okay.
iPhone.
Okay. You want? Okay. Okay. A lot of people are waiting for particular Big Billion Day. And have you observed, they say they give something called a sale at 12 a.m. and they say something like an iPhone 13 is for only 35,000. And when you go and try to order something, they'll say server issue, or they say after a few things out of stock, or something they say you are in queue. Did you guys see these particular things? Have you observed these things while Big Billion
Yeah.
Day and all?
Yes.
Okay. Now, imagine they want to only use a particular thing or particular, let's say, particular database or anything, because a lot of people are coming and communicating with respect to your database. At that time only they need to increase their configuration. Then you can do that with respect to database also, where at certain time we can go and increase the configuration, or you can increase your, expand or shrink your resources as per your requirement. That also you can do with respect to database. Now, security and compliance. Okay. Anyone traveled here from airlines? Airlines? No one? Okay. If you want to travel from airlines, you need a boarding pass. But
Yes.
with this particular boarding pass, you can only go with only the particular route what they have given, or only the particular location where you can go and board your plane. But can you go to something called as any other security room? Can you go and say, okay, I want to check this particular security room. I have this particular boarding pass. I'll go and check. Can you do that inside airport?
No.
The same way, inside our database, we can implement something called as role-based access control, or based on certain role. If you are a developer, I want to only give access for certain database. I don't want to give access for, let's say, other database, certain tables or certain schemas, whatever objects you have inside database, I can only give those access. I can do that with respect to something called as security or governance. And if you had same thing with respect to Excel, is that possible? Can you only share a certain object with, you can share that particular object and say, okay, only first five columns can be accessed by you. We cannot do that with respect to other data processing tools. So that's the reason it is compliance with respect to your governance. And if there are anything, certain companies, they implement certain restriction, they say you cannot go, you have to follow that particular restriction. For example, in America, there is something called as HIPAA. This particular HIPAA compliance is nothing but with respect to your any personal information that you're giving for your insurance and all, that particular company cannot go and misuse that particular information about yourself. All those things can be implemented with respect to your database. And there is something called as data integrity, where we can maintain a relationship between the tables. We can make sure that we can join multiple tables, and we can do all that. We can maintain the constraint, something called a constraint, where we are not adding certain unwanted data. All those things we can do with respect to database. That's the reason database is in very high demand for storing your data. Are you good for this particular slide? Are you good? Okay. Now, inside our data warehouse, we saw a data warehouse, and in that particular data warehouse, we might be having one particular section. Okay. A very big data warehouse is there, and in that one particular section, I'm keeping something called as clothing, all whatever the clothing someone has ordered, I'll go and keep all those information on the clothing. If anyone has ordered something called as electronics, I'll go and keep all those information under electronics. And if I order something called as any other, let's say books related or stationery items, I'll go and keep all those products under one particular section. And you are dividing your data warehouse into something called a section. And you can consider your data warehouse of Amazon as a database. Under that, you are again dividing few things and you are sectioning that. And based on this particular blueprint you're doing, now whatever this particular section you can see, that is called as schema, where under this particular schema, you are based on your requirement, you are dividing and only keeping those particular domain kind of data under your schema. Okay, the schema is an object inside your database where we divide, subdivide based on our domain, or it is a blueprint of the data which is based on our requirement. Okay. Now under your schema, for example, this is whole your particular section. Under that there is one rack. Under that particular rack, we have something called as horizontal things and we have something called as vertical things. Now we can label here saying that this is particular with respect to iPhone 13. This is something with respect to 14. This is Samsung product. This is Vivo product. This is Oppo product. Like that, we'll label here and we'll keep all those data with respect to that. And whatever you are labeling that and you're giving that particular information is called as columns, where you are putting that with respect to vertical information. And you're storing your data here, your products here, and whatever you're storing here, those horizontal data is called rows, and you're keeping whatever the data you're keeping, those are called as records. Now, what is schema? It's a logical container inside your database where you subgroup inside your data warehouse as a database based on your requirement. Table is a structure where you have something within the schema which is having something called as rows and columns, and you are keeping those information. Your columns are nothing but it's a in what kind of data you are stored inside that particular table. You are labeling that particular data. Those are called as columns, and whatever the data you are storing, actual data, you are storing under something called as rows. Now, if you come, this is how actually your table look like. This is an object. You're doing all these things. Whatever the things you are having here, the information about that is called as a column field, and this is called as a row, and this is where you are adding your row data. Okay, till now, are we good? If anyone is new to database or data related, are we good?
Oh, hello.
Yeah.
Can you bit explain the schema? I think, but how to identify the schema in the table?
Now, inside schema, I want to keep all the information about sales under one particular object. I want to keep all the information about my products into one particular object. What I will do, this is my database, which has my information about my all Amazon sales. Okay, or Amazon DB is my database, which I keep all track of my inventory, all products, everything I'm doing. And inside that particular product, I want to keep only with respect to sales. I want to create objects. Then I'll go and create a schema called as sales. I want to create only object inside this particular object, subdivide that with respect to only products. I'll go and create something called as schema as products. And whatever the object or tables which I'm creating under this particular schema is only with respect to sales. Whereas in here, whatever the tables are creating is only with respect to products. So schema is nothing but you are subdividing your whole database into a small group of domain where you are maintaining more in a concise way so that you can easily go and search that particular data. So if you have all this information instead of putting in one particular database and making it as a mess, we'll subdivide, and based on our requirement, we'll go and process that particular data. Have you got?
Yeah, thank you. Got it.
So, sir, basically, how we are storing data is like database. We are calling it as a warehouse. Then we have a schema as object, and then we are storing the table and column and rows in that schema, right?
Yeah. So first will be database is your main object. Under that, you get schema. You can have multiple schemas like this. And under schema, you'll be having all other objects. There are n number of objects. We'll be talking that. But for first now, we have taken as tables. these particular tables where we have structured data where we keep as rows and columns.
Good, sir. Thank you.
Now, you need to understand there is something called as types of database. We talked about database, we talked about schema, we talked about objects, how they all information, why databases are important. But there are two types of databases. One is something called as relational database, and another is NoSQL database. Now, what do you understand with respect to relation? What do you mean by relation? What comes to your mind if you say something relational database?
Like
Relation
we have
between two.
between like rows, and we have relation between like multiple tables, and like we have relation between rows and column.
Yep. So inside our table, we are maintaining in something called a structural format, where we are creating a table, something called as rows and column, and based on the multiple tables, we can create a relationship between them, and we can process the data. Those kind of databases are called as relational database. Whereas in NoSQL, we don't have any tabular structure. We cannot directly go and do these particular joins. These are something called as non-structured data, which can be in the form of JSON data, or it can be in the form of key and value pairs. For example, my name is Sagar plus something called as KSR. So you are making it as what? In the form of key value pairs. If I want to put the same thing inside my table, I'll keep it as something name here, and I'll make it as class. And here I'm entering my data as Sagar and KSR. So in this way, we have two types of databases. One is relational database, one is NoSQL database. You need to understand when we will be using this particular relational database. If you want to maintain certain structural format, if you want to maintain strict format, you want to ensure a data consistency, the particular data that is coming to your database or object are well structured and well integrated data, then we'll go with something called as relational database. For example, your banking transactions or your HR or e-commerce, whatever the database you take, where you are maintaining in a structural format. Whereas in your non-relational database is something called as it is something that might be coming as your name, price, or tag that can be generated as a log, or you're doing some comments inside your YouTube that is not in a structural format. If you want to extract that, you'll be extracting based on comment / and whatever your information, whatever the comment you have done, that you are getting, which is a flexible structure where it shows that each information about each record. But the problem is we cannot directly go and join those. We cannot review that. This is very optimized for millions of products if you're doing. And there are certain databases that are used for processing this particular object. Those are called as a NoSQL database. And those comes as a MongoDB, which is highly used. Cassandra is another database that is highly used. Okay. Coming to example, this is how your table structure is there. One is your relational data structure, where you have user ID and something like name and skill. And I want to find a relationship between these two. I can see there is something called a skill ID, and there's a matching record. I can directly go and join this particular table, and I can come up with one particular table having my ID, name, skill, and skills also, ID and all. I can bring all this as one particular table using this. Whereas you go with a NoSQL, you'll be having like this. One is ID and one. Name is this and skills is this. Now this is not maintained in well structure. To process this particular database, we cannot use our normal relational database. We have to go and use something called as a NoSQL. Any doubt with respect to database types of database?
But NoSQL, right? But we can maintain more data.
Yeah. NoSQL is something where you're continuously generating data, a stream data like this, it is coming, right? You are not analyzing your data, you're generating the data. At that time, we go for NoSQL, but we have to convert. Then again, from NoSQL, we have to convert. We'll be, whatever the data you'll be storing in Snowflake. For example, we'll be learning Snowflake. At that time, we can't store this as a tabular structure. We'll be converting that into a tabular structure. But Directly, if you want to convert, take that data that is continuously generated, then at that time, NoSQL is best suited because it will fetch that information. You are not maintaining any relational if there. It will just take that and it will keep as a data. Did I answer your question?
Oh, yeah, yes.
Now we'll go just briefly. Now you said SQL, you are saying, what is the SQL? What do you mean by SQL is? The abbreviation of SQL is nothing but structured query language. As it says, it's a structurally we are querying, particularly a language, to communicate with our database. Now it can be any statement which you use, and there are different database. But if you come to a history of a data SQL, it was invented in 1970s. Earlier, it was called as SQL, which was referred to structured English query language, but now it has converted in, they have removed English and they've just made it as SQL. Now, why I brought this particular history? I'm saying it was invented in 1970. What is the current date? Year is 2025. How many years it's been? How many years it's been?
55.
Okay, 55 years. It's been 55 years. And whenever you are working with a data processing tool or any data, in any projects, if you go, 55% of the time we use SQL. Then we use Python. Okay, Python is which is more advanced than your SQL, which is having a lot of objects, which have a lot of packages, which you can do a lot of coding. That is using around 16%. Now Hadoop is still reduced, okay, because Hadoop earlier used to process, it has reduced. Now R is something, this is also reduced. Now this might have increased. Now this is with respect to say 2023, but still SQL is at the top. These two has reduced and this has bit increased. And other languages are also processing. But if you see, SQL is still a 55.8%. It can be more than this now, according to the data. Any data profession, you go as a data engineer, you go as a data analyst, you go as something data scientist, AI engineer, whatever the field, or if you can go as a full stack developer also, backend developer, wherever you go, one particular language that will be always there, that is nothing but SQL. Now, why SQL? So, okay, why only SQL? Why can't this particular languages can keep up with this particular SQL? Now, if you say for any data work, SQL is a foundation. Since it is storing each and every objects in the form of database, and SQL is the only language which is well known to communicate with respect to database. Now, if you want to communicate from Python, you have to use the packages, then you connect to database. But to communicate again inside that Python, you have to write SQL code only to communicate with database. Now, whenever you want to communicate with database, use any language, use any of the extra utilities to connect database, but SQL is the only tool that can talk to your database. Second, each and every tech stack, whatever you go, it has its own learning curve, because if you want to learn Python, there is some learning curve. If you want to use learn R, you want to learn machine learning models and all, Scala, it has this whole learning curve. And to just communicate the particular piece of data for database, you have to write a long piece of code. Whereas just to select, you can just go and write one select star from my database or from my table using particular SQL. That's one of the advantage. And more important is, it is very efficient in processing data, where you can do easy filtering of data, you can join the data, you can do aggregation, you can do analysis, you can do anything with respect to your data set that is with respect to database. That's the reason, even though there are a lot of tools, if you're working with data, SQL is first tool that you need to master. And you can consider something SQL as, if you take, you have a restaurant, inside that particular restaurant, there is a kitchen, and you can say your SQL as a kitchen, and whatever these other tools, you can consider him as a chef. But if you want to cook anything as a raw material, you have to go inside the kitchen, you have to bring all those raw material, then only we'll be able to cook. That's the reason we'll be getting started first with something called as SQL, and then we'll master this particular SQL. Once we master the SQL, then only we'll be able to communicate with other tools like Snowflake. You go as Databricks, you go something AWS services, you go anywhere, even Spark, you go. Spark fundamentals, whatever PySpark code you are writing is based on your SQL only. Now, whatever the code you are writing in the SQL, those things can be done with respect to your files using PySpark, but the fundamental will see remains as a SQL. Are we good? Why SQL is important? Are we good?
Yeah.
Okay. Fine. I'll come back to this OLTP tomorrow because we need to explore few things there. We'll come back for tomorrow. We'll see that. But now we'll go and we'll see few things. Sorry for that. We'll come back this tomorrow. Okay. We have different types of databases. Okay. One is from Microsoft, we have something called as MS SQL. We have from Postgres something called as PostgreSQL. Oracle we have MySQL. IBM has its own SQL. Now, I want to ask you a question. You go and join a driving class, and inside driving class, he is using something called as Maruti Swift car, or let's say Hyundai car, Creta car is using, and you are learning driving for, let's say, 8 days. You use that particular driving class, and you got something good at driving. Now you felt like, I want to go and buy the car. Will you go and buy only Maruti Suzuki or Maruti Swift? Because I wrote this particular car, I can only ride this particular car, I'll go and buy this. Will you do that? Will you consider that?
No.
Okay. If you are able to ride Maruti Suzuki, can you go and ride BMW?
Yes.
Okay. Can you ride Benz or Mercedes Benz?
Yes.
Okay. Same way, whatever the car is there, car is nothing but SQL. Whatever the products you have one is something called as Maruti, we have Hyundai, we have Toyota, we have Tata, we have BMW. These are all different companies, but all is depend on one fundamental, that is car. They have built a car, and you need to ride a car, you need a steering, you need a brake, you need a clutch, you need a gear. That is the fundamental of riding a car. And all other features, whereas in BMW, you might have few other features, like you have a display where it is showing how you are riding everything. You might have few of, if you nowadays using electronic cars are coming, where they are giving a lot of feature like autopilot and all. But in the back end, your car remains the same. In the same way, we are going to learn something called as MySQL. Now, if I teach you MySQL, can you go and work with MS SQL? Can you go and work with Oracle or any other Postgres? Because all the foundation for this is SQL. They are built on top of SQL, but there might be, since inside your BMW, how you have certain features, inside Microsoft, there might be a certain feature. How you have certain Hyundai, certain features, in that Oracle might have certain features only, but the 90% of the code will be same. Whatever the things you are doing, objects you are creating, everything remains same. A little bit of syntaxes will be different. But if we teach something called as MySQL, can you guys go and work with these particular databases? Is it possible or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Now you might come and ask, why only MySQL? I could have gone and learn. You can teach me something called as MS SQL, and I can go and work with other databases also. Why only MySQL? Okay. Now MySQL is again a sub company of your Oracle. Okay. Now Oracle is not a free source. They came up with something called as MySQL, and they have given free source as a MS SQL. There is advanced features also where they will charge, but for the most of the people to practice any SQL coding, they have given MySQL as a free source. It's an open source where you can directly go install into your laptop. You don't need to buy any license. You don't need to wait for any license. You can directly go and install and work with that. You can easily configure your MySQL according to your laptop configurations. You can handle the data and all other features you have. It is a secure, easy to use, reliable, it is durable. Each and every features you have that can do with respect to MySQL. But the most important thing is whatever your Snowflake we are going to learn, that is with respect to build is similar to that of your MySQL. I'm not saying exactly like MySQL, but whatever the syntaxes you'll be using with respect to MySQL, it is similar to that of your SQL that are using inside Snowflake, inside your Databricks, whatever you use, those syntaxes are similarly on top of your MySQL. That's the reason we'll be getting started. We'll be installing something called as MySQL, and we'll be learning our SQL on top of MySQL. Are we good?
Hello?
Yeah.
A bit confusion here. On the long back onwards, I have some confusion. But MySQL and SQL terms are different, but language is same, right? That is correct?
Okay. You're correct. You're correct. See.
Okay. But
as I showed, BMW is one company. Mercedes-Benz is one company. Hyundai is one company. These are the different companies who brought their products, but the base whatever they are using is SQL.
Okay. But SQL server is different, right?
SQL server is a product given by your Microsoft.
Okay.
They say this is an application where you can go and do SQL, but I gave my application. So there are certain rules and limitations what I do, syntaxes and all, I'll do with respect to but whatever the functionality used with respect to SQL, I have to use that only. So 90% of the functionality will be same. A little bit of syntaxes will be different.
Okay.
Okay. All the functionality. You join the code, you join the table, you do aggregations, you select, you insert, you delete. All the functionality is same. Only is whenever you are doing advanced, like when we'll be using something called as programmable SQL, at that time use inside MySQL different code. Here it will be different code, but fundamentals of SQL will be same in all the tools.
Sure, like when this course will be started.
Are we good?
Yeah, got it. Thank you.
Any doubts?
Hi, sir. Am I audible?
I'm not able to hear you.
Am I audible now?
It's a bit low, but yeah. Tell me. Any doubts?
When this course will be started, so you will go. You are going to cover this SQL, Microsoft SQL Server, MySQL, Oracle, all, or like you will go with anyone?
No, we'll be using only MySQL.
Okay.
Each and every objects, whatever we'll be doing, any joins, tables, all the SQL coding we'll be doing only with respect to MySQL because it is similar to that of your Snowflake. It is similar to that of your Databricks.
Okay, sir.
Okay, but while doing any data migration and all, I'll be showing you from MS SQL also how to do data migration when we're doing AWS or any other things. At that time, if you want me to show other database also, I'll show that. But mainly with respect to coding, we'll use MySQL.
Okay, sir. But using Snowflake, we can use Oracle SQL also.
That left to you, because why I'm not using Oracle SQL is a lot of people are not compatible with Oracle because they have their own set of rules and regulation. They have to follow that, and it is not compatible with that of your Snowflake and all. So that's the reason it is much more easy to learn MySQL, because inside SQL your main agenda should be learning fundamentals, how to join table, how to filter, how to do aggregations. Those fundamentals we have to learn. So I'm going with MySQL. But if you want to practice on Oracle, that is up to you. You can do that also.
Sure.
Okay. Now, let me come back. Okay. Now this is our LMS portal. So when you click on our website, you can search for KSR Datavision. Once you come KSR Datavision, it will ask you for login. You just give if you're a new user, you have to register yourself. You just give your email number and phone number, and you can just register. And once you register, you'll be getting this particular dashboard like this. And this particular dashboard, you might not be able to see this dashboard because you are not enrolled anything. Since this particular course is assigned to me, that's the reason I'm able to see. You can go and say something called as explore courses. Once you click on explore course, these are the number of courses you are having. And you can click on free sessions. Since we have 5 free sessions, you can click on that. And we have something called as Snowflake with AWS Patch. You click on that. And if you want to see what is the exact roadmap we are following for our current patch. Okay, we have created one particular video. Let me pause this. You can go and watch this particular video where for next 40 minutes, I have explained each and every tool that I'll be following this particular course. Whatever the things I have explained here, that particular things only will be doing with respect to our particular course. And if you want to see in that, now you're feeling that this is English, I want to see in Hindi, you can go and change the track and see in that particular language in Hindi also for your better understanding if anyone is from Hindi. Okay. And if you come back for your first time, it will show you enroll. You can just go and say enroll if you are not enrolled this. And then access will come. You can go and do access. As soon as you come access, you will be able to see this all information. Now let me see if this is the latest content or the old content. We are still updating. Okay, this is the old content. We are updating in 1 or 2 days. We will be sharing because this is only with respect to AWS. Since we have added few things in this particular batch, that is with respect to ADF and Airflow also. So we'll be adding those information under the syllabus and we'll update that particular syllabus. But once you come here, you'll be able to see. And if you want to join our course directly from website also, there is something called as cast recordings here. Click on that and we'll be able to see these are the old recordings. And there is something called as this is a yesterday's recording. If you want to see, you can see here. And if you want to join, since we have this particular class in live, you can see something called as join. You can come and join here also. All the recordings with respect to class will be something called as class recordings. And anything I upload with respect to documents, it will be under lessons. And if you see here, there is something called as MySQL installation guide. Now, each and every step to install, let me see, this is not MySQL. This is information about your databases and all. There is an installation guide here. If you come here, I have given each and every step you have to follow to install MySQL. You have MySQL, go and search MySQL. Once you search MySQL, there is a download option. Click on that download option. There is a community edition. Click on that and install MySQL installer. Click on that. This is also given by Oracle. So you see Oracle, powered by Oracle. And then if you come, you have to just click on this particular MSI installer. Which version is this? Microsoft Windows. Come back and no, don't log in. No thanks. And a particular download will happen. Once you download, open that and click on install. Give your information, what all steps you have to give. Each and every information we have added here. Just follow those information, add these all things, follow this particular step. As soon you follow and install, this particular green mark will come, and then you will be able to, once you do that, you'll be able to go and connect to your MySQL. You have to do few more configurations. Each and every configurations I have added here. Let me say what is that particular configuration. Once you do, there will be something called as a workbench that will open. Where workbench is nothing, where you are doing actual coding inside your SQL, that you connect to that particular workbench. And you have to go to your Windows where your Microsoft SQL is installed. Go to that particular Windows, search that particular Microsoft SQL Server bin. Under that, we have to copy that particular path, and you have to go into your environment and configure that and add that particular path inside your path so that it can access your whatever the things you are doing locally from your local. Also, you can access all the files and all, uploading part and all you can do. That part you have to configure this, and once all things is there, go to command prompt, just give MySQL -- version, and you will be able to see the latest version. Are we good? Can you guys do this today? Can you guys do this?
Yes.
Yeah, sure.
Today we will install.
Okay. Now, since I have already installed, I'll just show a few things. Whenever you go and click on the workbench, there's something called as connection, and we'll be going and connecting. Now, how this particular SQL is working? I'll just give a brief idea before that. Have you guys seen this inside your office?
Yeah.
What are this?
Server, database servers.
You guys have access to this particular servers room?
No.
Well, it's a very cold place. Okay, you can easily go and sit and work easily here. Very chill place.
No, it is a data center.
Why? Because whatever you are doing inside your MySQL, you have your MySQL. Let's say you are working inside your laptop. You're doing coding here. I said what? Your SQL can handle what? GBs of data and TBs of data. Can your laptop have 2 TBs of data? Can it process inside your office? If you're doing coding, can it process? Can you store 2 TB of data inside your local only, whatever the data you have? Can you do? We have 5 to 10 people that are working on the same project. Can each one of them can duplicate those data inside your laptop? Can you bring those things? No, right?
No.
Okay. We will be having something called as servers. Under this particular servers, each and every information about your database, your authentication, your login, all the things are maintained here. This is a server where you are maintaining in the security, with high security, will be maintaining the servers. Now what we'll be doing, we'll be connecting our laptop to our server using something called as client, where we have our login information, we have our password. Once we do that, it will go and connect to your server, and the communication is between your laptop, that is client, and the server. So this way, if we have multiple laptops, multiple users, they have their own login details. All that is been maintained in your servers, and using that, we can communicate with your servers, which is having a databases or under servers where you are keeping all the databases and all. Are you good with this? Any doubt here? Any doubt here? Are we good? Okay. Now in the same way, but since we have installed each and everything, now when you go and install each and everything, you're making use of your laptop. You're saying make the configuration whatever you have there with respect to your laptop. Make use of that. Make use of storage. Make use of RAM, whatever you have with respect to my laptop, and I'm using MySQL. So I can say your whatever the servers is there that is being installed locally in your laptop for now, but in your real time it will be not like that. If you're using any on-prem system, for now no one is using on-prem, but if anyone is using on-prem, those system will be in the servers and will be connecting. And to connect that, we have the connection. Once I do connect, when we'll be doing for the first time, it will ask your password and login information. Once you give that particular password and login, you'll be able, for last batch, let me go and remove this. New query. Where is new query? Okay. You'll be able to log into your database. Now your MySQL workbench is there where we are going and doing all the coding. Now under this particular session, we'll be writing all our code. Now whatever we write, there is an output button where it will be showing, and there is something called as schemas where you are able to see your database. Now for your MySQL, I explained you something called as database. I explained you something called as schema, whereas in your MySQL, there is no concept of schema. Both database and schemas are same. But for some of the database, you might be having schemas also. Some of the database might not have schema. But why I explain schema is when we go with something called a Snowflake, there the structure will be database, then followed by schemas, then you'll be having all the objects. Are you clear? Are we clear with this?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now if you go here, database, now there are different databases are created, even though it is saying schema, but in reality it is databases. And if you can see, there are a lot of databases. If you go and click here, you have a lot of things. These are the different objects you can create under database. One is table, views, store procedure, function. What are these? We'll see in the future classes. If anyone don't know, don't worry. But first thing is something called as table. Now I'll be going and creating one database. Okay. To create any database, I use something called as create database. I'll give my database name. That can be Amazon_DB. I just created this particular database. As soon as I create this particular database, output will show here saying that Amazon DB has been created, but we'll be not able to see here. I'll go and see something as refresh. As soon as I refresh, there is one database that has been created, that is Amazon DB. Okay, under Amazon DB, we have not created any tables yet. We have not created any views. We have not created anything, but one particular object has been created. Now I need to make use that particular session. I need to use this particular database. Now, whatever the objects I create, it is under this database I need to communicate. So that I'll say use. Now, if I go and say first, I need to see which database is there. I'll say select database. And if I go and see this, and anything which you are ending, if you want to end particular syntax, this is what you are doing is communicating. This is SQL, this is language SQL, and whatever you are writing are queries, and whatever these things inside queries are called as syntaxes. And if you want to end something as once you complete, if you want to end your query or syntax, use something called as colon here, semicolon, and that means this particular syntax has ended here. You are intimating your MySQL that I have ended in my statement. This is one statement. Okay, I'm saying select database. I'm saying what database I'm in. And when I say select database, it says you have created a database, but you are not under any particular database. Now, whenever I want to create any objects on the database, I'll go and say use my database name. Just give a simple English command. I'm using English language to communicate, and I'll go and use this. And I'll say, whenever you go and say use database, there is a highlighted better you can see. When earlier it was not highlighted, now it is saying highlighted. That means you are under this particular database. Now I go and see select database. I'll be able to see my database. Fine. I created my database. Now I'll go and create one more database saying Amazon DB. Can I create this?
No.
Okay. Can a person have, two person can have same Aadhaar number?
No.
Similarly, each and every databases are identical. You have to give an identical name. If you go and say create database, it will throw you an error saying that cannot create this database already exists. I want to create different databases here. I'll go and rename and I'll give other database name and I'll come and create database. Now you are able to see a database is created, that is Amazon DB01, but still we are under this particular database. Since we have said use this particular database, we are under this database only, but we are able to create other database. Now, I don't want this particular database. This by mistake I have created this particular database. I want to remove this particular database. All I'll say is drop database, my database name, and if I go and run this particular command, I'll be able to see that particular database has been removed from my. In this way, you can create a database, you can drop a database, but they cannot go and rename the database. Okay. Once the database is created, that's it. You cannot go and rename that particular database inside MySQL, but what you can do, if you want to rename, again drop that particular database. But you have to make sure that whenever you go and drop a database, if there are any object, for example, let me come here and we have something called as what? One table is there. I'll go and drop this particular database here. I drop this particular database. That particular database is gone. Now I'll go, okay, by mistake I drop. I'll say, oh, I want this particular database. I'll go and create this particular database. If you come here, the database is created, but are we able to see the objects? That particular table was there. Is there present here?
No.
So if you drop a database, any objects that are created under a particular database is also getting dropped. Now, one last thing for today's class. Now, whatever commands you write inside SQL, they have been divided into few commands. That is, one, we can say DDL command. Second is something called as DML command. Third is something called as DQL command. Fourth is DCL command. And fifth and last is DCL command. Now, if you want to write as a comment anything inside your database, you can use double hyphen. Now, this is considered as a comment, and if you go and execute, even though this is not a syntax or anything, it won't throw you an error. For example, if I not given as a command, and if I go and run this, now this is not a syntax, it is throwing an error. You will go and say, this is not a valid syntax, because anything you communicate inside SQL, that should be a correct. Now, how I said the grammar which I am talking, if I don't talk in a correct grammar, you will not be able to understand my English. The same way, the communication should be the correct syntaxes. We cannot do, but I want to indicate something where I'm saying whatever the syntaxes or whatever things I'm writing, that I want to indicate something as a comment. I can give as a double hyphen. It will consider it as a comment and it will not throw and it will not execute that piece of command. Okay. Now, what is this DDL command? Okay, DDL commands are nothing but data definition language. Okay. Now, what do you understand by definition? What do you mean by definition? What do you mean by definition?
We can define something.
Okay. You're describing something. You're saying I'm defining my structure of my data. I'm saying this particular data is there. I'm creating database. Anything you're describing the structure is called as a data definition language. Now, DML is nothing but data manipulation language. Now, what do you mean by manipulate? You are changing a certain data. That data already exists. You're going and manipulating that particular data. You're modifying that data. That is something called as data manipulation language. Now, something called as data query language. Now, query is nothing but you have written a query. You need to read the data. You want to read that particular data. Then we go and use something called the data query language. And there is something called as TCL. There is something called as transactional control language. Now, what is this? I'll be explaining in the further classes. Don't worry about that. And the last but least command is data control language. Okay. Now, data control is nothing but how you control the objects inside your database. Now, I want to go and give access for the certain user only this particular database, that is Amazon DB, or I want to give access only for this particular table object. Those all commands can be written under particular commands. And what all these commands are there, when we come back tomorrow, we'll be seeing, and we'll be getting started with creation of our table, inserting of our data, updating, delete, and then we'll go with the advanced concept where we'll be running all the complex SQL code. Are we good?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, coming to this, since we have the 5 demo classes, coming to the syllabus, who has joined today's class? For them, we are going to learn these technologies. we are getting started with SQL. Then we'll be learning something called data warehouse, then Snowflake, DBT. Then we'll be learning something called as Spark, Python, PySpark. We'll implement PySpark on top of our Databricks. Then we learn open table format, delta table. Then while learning Databricks, it is similar to that of your Snowpark. We'll be learning parallel these two things. We'll learn something called as iceberg table that is widely used nowadays as an open table format. Inside that is an advanced modern data tech stack on top of our AWS services. And once we finish our Python, we'll be building our pipelines using Apache Airflow. And with a low code or no code tool, we'll be using something ADF and Matillion. And once we learn all this, we'll see how to integrate with our GitHub and how to move our code from one environment to another environment. We'll be seeing that. Coming to high level, let me zoom it. We started with SQL that will go up to 3 to 4 weeks, and then Snowflake plus DBT. I would say 7 to 8 weeks based on your pace, how you understand. We'll be pacing that. It's not hard and fast rule that we have to finish in 3 to 4 weeks only. But in SQL, we'll be building one end-to-end data engineering project or data analytics, or that is Netflix data analytical project, where we'll be solving more than 200 to 300 SQL problems. This is mainly with respect to your interview preparation. I'll be solving few problems. I'll be giving as an assignment also based on each and every important topic, so that if you are no SQL also, you are getting started for your interview preparation from the day first, because we can't wait till the end and then we prepare. That's not a wrong approach. We'll be starting with the basics and we'll be preparing our SQL also. And once we finish our SQL, we'll do Snowflake and DBT. We'll be solving more than 20 plus use cases, real-time use cases. Those all use cases will be added in your syllabus that will share by end of this today class, and we'll build one end-to-end Apollo data engineering project. This is completely a dynamic and framework project that you can blindly keep in your resume. It will go up to 6 to 8 hours, and there will be one end-to-end project in DBT that will go up to 3 to 4 hours. And once you finish that, we'll have Python. Now, Python is vast, will not do each and everything. Whatever is required for your data engineering, whatever you required for PySpark, whatever is required for your AWS and Airflow, we'll be touching all those things and we'll learn all the concept. And once we learn that, we implement those Python inside Airflow.
Matillion we are using for like DBT tool only.
Sorry, I did not get your question.
So this Matillion that is there with Airflow, so that is like DBT tool.
It's not a DBT tool. It's a new tool where how you have ADF data factory. It's a Matillion is the same tool where you can orchestrate the pipeline. You can build a transformation using UI.
Okay.
Okay.
So that is for transformation data also, like ETL
Yeah,
tool.
transformation data. For example, just now I was taking the before class, a Matillion is there. See, I'm just doing drag and drop. I'm bringing all the transformations and I'm reading my table, doing transformation, implementing the pipelines, all those things we are implementing using UI, not using SQL. I mean coding. This is a Matillion tool.
So I have a question there, sir, with respect to Matillion, which you are showing right now. So the transformation you just said is separately we have to do it in this Matillion, or is it the Matillion architecture? What is that Matillion architecture?
if
I
you come
read,
here,
but
Matillion,
what is this Matillion.com?
Matillion.com is now how you are Snowflake, right? You are writing everything in Snowflake code in the cloud. Matillion.com is a company which has given a ETL tool based on the cloud. It says you log into my account, connect to your Snowflake. Don't use any Snowflake to do coding. Use a drag and drop. For example, I need to read a data. I'll go here. I'll use this particular component. I'll connect to my Snowflake database. In this particular database, these all tables are there. First, I'll read this particular data. Now I need to do certain changes. I need to filter my data. I need to do aggregations. All those SQL commands, whatever you're doing, I'll do with respect to drag and drop. You have a lot of components like these transformations, write, test, all these components are there. I will use this. It's a no code platform where you are not doing any coding. You're dragging and dropping and constructing a pipeline, and that pipeline will be executing it. Okay.
So basically, coding part we are doing it in Snowflake for this, right?
Thank you.
Yep.
So basically another tool compared to DBT, where DBT.
Yep. Why Matillion is more popular? Because If you go and see, it depends on the data warehouse. Now, whatever the transformation you're doing, for example, we executed this particular table transformation here. Now, if you come and see here, this is a code it has written in the backend. All the SQL code based on the component you have run, it has written in the backend by itself. And when I go and execute in my something called as Snowflake, since it is connected, you can see here that particular code has executed inside your DBT, Snowflake, where it is making use of your Snowflake only to do the transformation. That's the reason Matillion is very much compatible with your Snowflake. Whereas the ADF, you can't do this. Got it? Are you good, guys? What is Matillion?
So, sir, for ETL tool, we are also using that ETL tool here.
ADF tool, inside ADF, you can't do this certain transform. You can do transformations also, but in that time, what it uses, ADF uses in the backend something called as Spark architecture to do the transformation. It is not making use of your Snowflake architecture or Snowflake warehouse to do the transformation. But for ADF, what we can do, I have written all the code inside my Snowflake. I need to orchestrate that particular code. I need to run one by one by one. For example, first I need to execute certain transformation in my one table. After that, one table should go. In that way, you can orchestrate that inside your ADF. But you cannot do transformation level like this inside your ADF. We can do, but that is not optimized way, because that is using data flows we can do. But again, you're using another services and you're paying for ADF also for the cluster there.
Sir, so any ETL tool that we are using in this course?
This is the ETL tool. Matillion is a ETL tool. ADF is a Matillion tool, ETL tool that will be learning.
Sure.
Okay. We come back again, syllabus. So after we learn this, we'll be learning ADF and Matillion and Python. Now, if you guys want to get started, there will be few folks who are having 3 months notice period and all. They can get started with interview preparation here only, and they can start. You out of 10 calls, you might get 5 calls like this, but this will go up to 3 months, and last 2 months will be a Spark and AWS. It will go parallelly. You can learn. If you are having 5+ years of experience, but you have to wait. But if you are okay with 3 years experience guy who are showing 3 years, this is good. But a number of opportunities are less, because coding part nowadays everyone is asking Spark. That's the reason we have added Spark also. If you see any data engineering job, there will be Snowflake, DBT, or either ADF or Airflow or Spark or Databricks, any of the cloud, that is AWS or Azure. So we are covering let's say, now we are covering this almost all the things. If you see for this particular tools, only around 40% of data engine out of 100%, the job openings are for this particular tools are 40%, but competition is also high since there is low coding. A lot of people are there. That's the reason your salary expectation will go less. Now, if you want to have a more salary, we have to add coding. And let me tell you, if you learn coding, no one can lay off. If you learn coding, you no need to worry about any layoff. And Python is a very easy tool to learn coding. It's not like Java and all, how we have a day. If you know SQL, almost you have known Python, but you need to learn certain syntaxes. That's it. So based on your target, you can get started with interview, but we'll ask to get started interview here. After that, we'll be learning 2 more months. So that end of your 3 months notice period, we'll be having multiple offers. That is what the target is. And apart from that, we'll help you on LinkedIn optimization, resume building, or any placement cells we have. That means how to prepare for interviews and all. We'll collect all the interview questions and we'll give that. If there is a mock interview guide also we'll do. And if any other something workshops we'll be having, like agile methodology, any project management exercises, any other real-time projects also we'll be doing apart from our project. On the weekends, we'll be doing that. Okay. Now coming to our project.
In project section, what all are the projects that are mentioned? These all are lifetime projects or like just for
I'll
that?
show you that. I'll show you that. Okay. Now, this is your first project on Netflix database. We'll build this particular database. We'll build this particular table. And based on this, we'll be doing a 200 plus of coding questions, which will be helpful for your interview. Okay, this is way of learning SQL, where we'll be doing a lot of coding and we'll be learning. The second project is your Snowflake. This is what I said, something called as framework project, where we'll be building each and everything dynamically using store procedures, advanced store procedure, and this will be your data model at the end, where we'll be implementing everything, email notification and all. This is a very complex project, which will go up to 8 hours. And if you see, I have written all the things with the advanced and dynamic store procedures we are creating, and then we are executing, and this will be the end-to-end pipeline. This is your first project. And coming to DBT, this will be your project. It will go up to 3 to 4 hours. We'll be building end-to-end from one layer to another layer as a real-time data engineering project. We'll implement all the use cases that are there inside your DBT into one after we complete our classes in DBT. And after that, with respect to a Databricks and ADF or AWS or Snowpark, we'll be building one project where it will go up to 3 hours. We'll be showing end-to-end transformation how we can do once we learn our PySpark and Snowpark. And then comes AWS. When you go with AWS, this will be the final capstone project, which will be divided into 3 sub-projects. And then at the end, we'll connect that into one end-to-end project where we'll be using the advanced modern data engineering tools like iceberg tables, everything. This, if you go and show this is 3 different projects, but we can't go to have that real-time implementation. We combine that. We're showing that as a one project, and end will be our Snowflake. We'll be going and storing all our data in Snowflake. We're implementing incremental loading, each and everything we'll be doing with respect to Snowflake. And coming to AWS, I'll be showing one streaming project with respect to Kinesis, where we'll be continuously streaming data inside Snowflake, and we'll see how we can process streaming data inside our Snowflake. This is 6 to 7 projects where we'll be doing. Apart from this, we'll be building pipelines on Matillion, we'll be building pipelines on Airflow, we'll be building pipelines on ADF. So this particular course will go up to 5 months, 5 to 5.5 months, 150 to 180 hours. It is completely a practical base. Please don't expect any theory from my side. I'll bring few slides, explain few theory in for 5-10 minutes, so that you have that understanding, and we'll be implementing each and everything practical way. Then classes will be from Monday to Friday, 8 to 9:30 a.m. and all the projects will be on Saturday, Sunday, because with that continuous flow. So we'll be going for 4 hours using break and all. Based on your availability, we'll be planning that. And if any classes misses on Monday to Friday due to some functionals or due to some festivals and all, based on your availability, we'll have that 1.5 hour class on the weekend. It's not like every weekend we'll be having, but every class will be mostly on Monday to Friday, 8 to 9:30. And the fees is 35K. You can connect with Mahesh for more information about this, or join our WhatsApp group and connect with our admin. They will be helping you out. That being said, if you guys have any doubt, please let me know. I'll be happy to help you.
Yeah, hi sir. I was having a question. Like mostly we will be focusing on Snowflake for this course, right?
Yeah.
And some part of Databricks and ADF, which is
Yeah.
required. And we will be learning Spark and PySpark, which will be required only for Databricks and ADF.
No,
So
inside Snowflake also we can use Spark architecture. I mean, we can use PySpark. So for that, that is something called a Snowpark. We'll learn both. Even in Snowpark, we'll be implementing. If you see, whatever you implement in PySpark and Databricks, you can implement that also in Snowflake. We'll learn both.
okay, so my doubt was, will we be diving deep into Spark and PySpark, or
Yeah. Now, whenever we'll be practicing PySpark, I won't use any Jupyter notebook or anything. Everything will be implemented in Databricks and Snowflake, so that instead of wasting time there, we'll be implementing in Databricks and we'll get look and feel of Databricks.
Okay.
Yeah, because you need PySpark, Spark architecture even for AWS. Without that, you can't build any projects in AWS.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. Any other doubts?
Hello.
Any other doubts?
Hello.
Yeah.
I have a generic question. I have 11 years in testing background. So can I take this data engineer course? But how can I go the approach? But we need to more learning. I don't have. I think basic knowledge in SQL.
Okay.
But other things, just a basic idea of workflows. Not complete knowledge on AWS and data side.
Okay. See, each and everything we'll be doing from basic to advanced. It's not like only high level we'll be teaching. So each and everything will be from basics. So we learn each and everything. And if you come saying he has 11 years of experience there, if you do each and every project, what we do, if you do each and every assignment, if you follow each and everything, you can blindly go and show 5 to 6 years. That I can assure. Okay. But how to profile yourself is, we'll help you out that. Once you finish your project, we have completed all this project and all. We'll be showing your last 4 years you have worked as a data engineer only.
Okay.
We'll build that particular resume and we'll help you out how to give the interviews and all. That will be helping you out.
Okay, fine.
Okay.
Thank
you. Any other doubts?
I have another question. Like in the brochure, it was written that we will be having lifetime access to all the recorded sessions.
No,
So,
it is 1 year access. But if you want still, if by 1 year you could not get a job or anything, and you found anything, and if you want additional access, can talk to Mahesh. Based on your requirement, we'll be giving. But it's not like complete access, because that doesn't make sense, because after 1 year or 2 year, this particular syllabus might not be as feasible at that time, because that's the reason.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Any other question?
Sagar, 1 year access you are saying it is from when we joined the course or after completion of course?
No, the day you join, from that the access will be for
So
1 year.
5 months. 5 months already completed in the course itself till course completion, right? From that time we can get to 1 year, right? Why?
That's what, sir. If you want additional access, we'll give that. There is no Satish.
Yeah. What I mean is all the recordings are available after our course is completely completed, right? From that time we should give 1 year. That's what my question.
Okay, Satish will be answering that. Is admin.
Yeah. Hi team. After 1 year, free of cost, we will extend again. But after 1 year, we will take one feedback call, just like why you asking again. If you need any still extend from our side, like that, we will take you one feedback call. Then after we will extend free of cost only. For that, no worries. My team will totally take care of it.
Okay.
Why we are giving only 1 year is because we want you to get settled down within a year. Because if we say 2 years access, 3 years access, what we will do? Okay, I have access. I'll read. You'll be careless. We don't want that. If you are not able to get job in 1 year, then that's a failure from our side. We need to understand why you did not get job, what's the issues and all. We'll talk to you based on your requirement and all. We'll help you. That's not a problem.
Okay. Yeah, that is okay.
Okay. Fine. Any other doubts?
Yeah, I have a quick question, just a follow up on that. So the 1 year access, is that from the start of the class or is after the session ends, that's when you have 1 year access?
The access, the day you purchase the course, from that day, it is 1 year access. And the recordings now, whatever we are doing, if you see our portal, as soon as we complete our class, as soon as we complete that particular class, it will be accessible using this particular, it will be directly added here. So it will be 1 year of access. So if you want more than 1 year also, we'll extend, that's not a problem. But we'll take your feedback, why you required and all, and then we'll
extend. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, will we have
So I have one doubt.
interviews
Like,
yeah, go ahead, one by one.
Yeah, like do we have mock interviews that will be conducted after the course? Or,
See, for mock interview, we have come up with a AI tool that tomorrow I'll ask Mahesh to show that demo. That will be very helpful. Like you directly, if you upload your resume and all, based on your resume, whatever you have done, that particular mock interview will be asking questions, and based on your performance and all, it will be giving all those feedback and all. So that will be helpful for you. That will be giving maybe from tomorrow. Tomorrow I'll ask Mahesh to join, and I'll be explaining you more about that. So using that particular mock interview, that will be helpful for you. But if you want to have in-person and all, that also will help you out. That's not an issue. But make use of AI, which is a lot of companies are doing now. Now a lot of companies are coming with AI tool to take interviews and all. So we have come up with that particular tool.
Can we do installation? Installments.
Sorry, can you speak a bit loud? I'm not able to hear you.
Can we, there's an option of installments or something?
No installment. Only installment you have to do is SQL and Python. And if you don't have configuration to do that also, there are some online where you can go and practice. I'll be sharing with that. You can go and practice that.
The question is, I'm talking about the fees. The fees. You need to pay
You
one shot
can
or-
connect with Mahesh. Okay, he'll help you out. Satish, are you there?
Yeah, please tell me.
Can you share the phone number? So
Yeah, can you write it there?
okay, let me write it here. Yeah, sorry. Come here. Yeah.
So actually, I have a doubt. Like, what you told, like, you'll provide like resume and experience. You'll mention after this course. So actually, I have 4 years of experience. Like, I have experience in support. So you will like help me to get like project overview and like you will mention everything in
Yeah,
resume,
each and
right?
everything. Now, whatever we are building, that is a real-time project. Now, how to show that particular project in your resume? Now, each and everyone cannot have same resume. So, according to your use case or according to your experience, we'll be changing that. Now, if you learned anything based on that, what is your plus point? We'll analyze that, and based on that, we'll give you a template. We'll ask to come up with your resume, and we'll say, okay, if there are any changes we have to do, this is wrong. We'll guide you anything, and we'll try to fix those. Did I answer your question?
Sure, sir.
Okay. Yeah, yes, Lish.
Okay, so this Francis here. Quick question: if you're able to follow up on all the projects and everything that is taught in the course, measurably, how many years of experience can you claim? Because I have about 8 years in development in .NET, and I'm transitioning to this.
Okay. We are doing around 6 to 7 projects. We'll be doing 50 plus use cases overall from start to end. We'll be given around 50 plus assignments. And we'll track that each and every assignment. It's not like we'll just give assignment and we'll keep, because in our portal, we'll ask once you complete your assignment, you have to submit that. We'll see what answer you are given. Based on that, we'll be giving you all the feedback and all. If you do all these things, if you attend all the classes, listen, or at least if you follow the recordings, if you could not attend, if you do all these things, you can blindly go and put 6 years of experience. But if you could not go and do all these things, you did around 75%, go and put up to 4 to 5 years. If you did 50%, go and put 3 to 4 years. And if you go and do less than 50, then I can say 2 years. You just listen to our class only, you can go and show at least 1 year in the data.
Okay.
Okay, this is what you can do. Yes, Satish, please share the number.
Yeah. 99
99
16
16
96
96
1234.
1 2 3 4. Okay. For fees and
Note
all,
mine as well
install.
if Mahesh busy.
Yeah,
Hello.
Mahesh. Yeah.
Yeah, if Mahesh busy, please note mine as well. If he didn't pick the call, you can call me also.
Okay. Okay, Satish. Sorry. Satish. Okay. Yep.
89
89
51
51
7851
7851
23.
Okay. You guys can connect with admin or Mahesh. They will help you out with the fees and installment or anything what you want to talk. You can connect with them and you can discuss.
अच्छा आप जो नया जिसके लिए ये नया कोर्स है राइट, तो उसके लिए कुछ करते हैं क्या, मतलब फीस में?
कौन सा नया कोर्स आप बात कर रहे हैं?
ये अगर ये जो डेटा इंजीनियरिंग है अब नया है राइट, सब्जेक्ट ही नया है, तो उसके लिए फिर आप कुछ डिस्काउंट करते हैं क्या फीस में?
आप बात कीजिए महेश और सतीश से, So
सतीश है, okay.
yeah, or else Mahesh, वो help
ठीक है,
करेंगे. Okay, I'm just a teacher
thank you
here,
जी.
who will be
हाँ जी.
teaching you. So admin kind of work you can talk with them.
अच्छा अच्छा ठीक है, thank you जी.
Okay.
Yeah. Hi team. Regarding fee and
Super.
those are like for who are moving to non-IT to IT, sir. Regarding career guidance, you guys connect with me or Mahesh. We will guide you. Okay. And regarding any course related, you can ask him. Try like Sagar, he will help you.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Any other doubts? Okay. Did you guys learn something today? Were you able to follow my teaching?
Yes, sir. It's very useful.
Okay. Thank you. And we'll meet tomorrow again.
Okay.
Thanks, sir, for today's session.
Thank you.
Okay. Same time, 8 o'clock.